Welcome back. I hope that you're doing okay wherever you are. So today we will tackle a pair of vintage exotic skin. In this case, alligator. These are a really old pair of shoe, and I thought it was a good idea and a good time to start working on different types of leathers. So in this case, like I said again, this is going to be an exotic, considering exotic. It's going to be an alligator, so let's get going. First, I'll remove the laces so that I have access to the whole shoe, all of the areas of the shoe. You don't need to do this every time that you shine your shoes, but when you're doing a serious shine, complete shine, then it's always a good idea to do so. I will remove the shoe trees. As you can see, they're also vintage. Place them here to the side. Now I will take care of the inside of the shoe. We'll try to clean and disinfect the inside of the shoe. I'm spraying rubbing alcohol, as it helps killing microorganisms, and it also evaporates rather fast. Now the sock liner over here needs some TLC, so I'll take care of it. These shoes are called are the brand Peninsula shoes. I think they're made here in the US a long time ago. The year I am not 100% sure. I might have to read on that. Okay, after spraying the alcohol, I'm gonna use a paper towel to remove the excess, and you can see how there's some filth already coming out of the shoe. I'll also apply some alcohol to it to take care of the upper side of the lining, the insole, the shoe. What are your thoughts on exotics? Not a lot of people like them very much. I don't think they're too common nowadays. The manufacturers still make them. I know Carmina has a line of alligator, crocodile, lizards also. And so Bonafé as well. Okay. In the meanwhile, the alcohol is evaporating. I'll proceed to move ahead and buff the uppers. You can see that I'm no longer picking any moisture from the alcohol. Most of it has been absorbed, and the excess I did remove with the paper towel. So I'll go ahead and insert the shoe trees again for the next step, which is going to be cleaning the uppers. I will use pure polish cleaner and conditioner to do so. I was apprehensive about using it, but then I contacted Andy, which is the person behind the product, and he assured me that it was perfectly fine. And since the ingredients are all natural, I don't see that this could be detrimental to the skin. Now, normally I would have gone with rubbing alcohol on the uppers to do the first cleaning, because you can already see they are rather dirty. But as I commented before, I like pure polish, and I contacted Andy to inquire about the possibility of using the cleaner on exotics, and he said it was perfectly fine. There you go, we're using it today. Is it gonna require more than one pass? I already see. You can already tell. So we're gonna set this aside for a moment. Let the cleaner do its thing. Then I'll move to another section of the cloth here. Clean one, and go at it. This is the one thing where I suppose that it would be more based on your personal preference, but I would never use a wax, colored wax, on exotics. What I would use wax, of course I would, to protect the skin, but I would never use one that has some pigment on it. I would go with a neutral to make sure that what stands out is the natural color of the skin. But again, that is personal preference of the owner or whoever is shining the shoe. Personally, I would never do it. I think that the skin is interesting enough. So since I'm tackling this pair right now, I will try to remove as much as I can from the uppers to bring out the original color of the skin, and then I will use some cream, another cream. This is a conditioner and cleaner. I'll use a cream specifically for exotics to hydrate the leather, and then I will use some neutral wax as the final step to protect the upper. But like I said, I think that the skin is actually interesting enough. Sorry about that. I had stopped the video after realizing that the camera had stopped recording. Anyway, all that I have done so far was to apply the conditioner cleaner, and now I'm gonna carry on to buff it. And even though I was trying to use it as a cleaner, not so much a conditioner, you can definitely tell that the product does provide very subtle shine. You can see side by side. This one is still dull. This one is already showing a very small decent shine. So the uppers have been cleaned with the conditioner cleaner. Now I will buff it, and then I'll move forward to actually condition them. For the actual conditioning, I'm gonna use the Saphir Raptan, which is a product specifically used for exotics. So what I'll do is that I'll take a small amount and add it to the poppers, like so. Key aspect of this is make sure that you cover the whole surface, especially because we were aggressive in terms of the cleaning, and the exotic skins, they tend to dry out and they crack rather easy if you do not condition them properly. They tend to crack a lot on the areas where the shoe flexes, so a lot of this area in the vamp would be prone to cracking. So you better make sure that you are conditioning properly those areas. Don't get me wrong, this is a very resistant material. Think about the conditions where these animals live. They're swamps, highly humid areas, so they're used to having extreme temperatures. I remember that alligators are cold-blooded animals, so they can only live in areas where there is temperatures that allow their body to be warmed up by the environment. So the skins are rather resistant, but still. It's always important to properly take care of them. I'm gonna switch spot here and get going. I think I'm gonna need at least 2 passes. That is my speculation so far. We'll see after the first one how the leather is looking. The skin actually, well, which is leather also, but I digress. We were due for some exotic skins in the channel. We have worked with Insole, box calf, pool leather, calf, regular calf, shell, suede, but we had not had the chance of working on some exotics. So I'm glad I'm able to do this so that you, in case you ever decide to get a pair, or if you already have one, at least I can show you how I do it. It's not necessarily how you want to do it. Just an idea. I think I'm gonna give it another go real quick. And after doing this, then I'm gonna condition the insoles which we have, and the lining, which we have not done yet. We clean them with rubbing alcohol, but we still need to treat them. For these shoes being vintage, I think they're in a great condition, great condition. At least that is my personal opinion, based on other vintage shoes that I've seen in very dry condition. You can see the pipings here still in a very good shape. There's no cracking on the surface of the lamp. The lining and the insoles still look nice. If anything, it's just that sock liner that looks like might need some attention. That's not a complicated fix. Just adding some glue to it would be the simpler way to take care of it. Okay. I think for now, the passes, they're good enough. I'll remove the shoe tree. Tackle my Mowbray here. And get after it. Now I'm laying it heavy because Lord knows this is dry. I'm not expecting these shoes to be worn for quite a while. So the addition of some extra cream on the insoles, I don't think it's gonna be something too bad. It's gonna be dry by the time someone actually gets to wear them. So yeah. The same with the other shoe. Again, anything that is leather, the lining needs to be treated. That is to avoid any cracking, and because they are part of the shoe structure, just to provide the best condition for the shoe to last as long as they can, especially in these shoes that they are old already. Okay. Yes. All of this lining here, they need to be conditioned. Okay. Now we need to take care of this welt. So I will come with neutral wax, neutral color that is, and apply it. This is to make sure that the thread used on the welt is protected against moisture, so that it lasts as much as possible. It is a organic material, natural material thread, so you want to protect it as much as you can. What I mean by organic is not like that there's no chemicals in it, but I mean organic is composed of carbons. So just making the clarification there. Okay. Now the insoles dry out. I'll start with the buffing process because there's still accumulations here of cream. You can see there's nothing wrong with that. So I just need to make sure that I buff it real quick. If you ever encounter yourself with a pair of shoes that look like an exotic leather, in this case this one, which is Alligator, and you are not 100% sure, I hope the camera is able to pick it up, but these skins, they have one particular indicator. Let me see if I can find it. In one of these shoes, I saw it recently. Yes, see over here, there is a small spot. That is an indicator that we're talking about exotic material. It is like a spot. Can I see another one here? Yep. So those are telltales that you're talking about an original skin, alligator skin. If not, it's just maybe calf that is embossed to mimic the look. Obviously, if you get your shoes from a reputable maker, then they're not gonna claim to be selling any reptile and then sell you something else. Because obviously they do care about their brand. They don't want to be perceived as a company that tells you one thing and then they sell you something else. That'd be some sort of fraud, I guess. A bad reputation can really hurt a brand. Okay, at this stage I feel that the insoles are dry, so I'll proceed again put the shoe trees. And now we can actually buff a little bit more vigorously, because there is that structure behind the skin, the structure of the shoe, so you can be a little bit more assertive with your brushing efforts. Yeah, I'm happy with how this is looking. I think so far this would be enough for the skins, but I'm gonna actually go ahead and add a small layer of wax just to ensure that everything is protected. Now note that I'm using, like I commented before, neutral wax. I don't want to add any color to the skin. I think it's important to keep the original color of the material, the skin. Yes, there are people out there that prefer patinas, which some of them developed natural through time. They're darkening. There's darkening of the skins on specific areas. I don't think, first of all, you can do too much of a patina in a dark skin, let alone an exotic. So I would suggest that we just use neutral wax. Again, the idea is to protect the skin from elements, dirt, moisture, coffee spills, tea spills, to a certain degree abrasion when you're like perhaps driving, when you're constantly hitting the shoe with the pedals or against the rug, the carpet in the car. So the wax provides a small amount of protection. I think 1 or 2 passes are going to be enough. Again, I don't want to have accumulation of it. So for this instance, I think 1 pass is going to be enough. I will need to add color to these areas here of the sole. So I'm gonna use some mirror gloss here for those areas of the shoe, just to make sure that it pops out the darker area here, makes it more appealing to the eye. I'm using dark brown as the first layer. And then to make sure that it really stands out, I'm gonna finish it maybe with black. I'll have to take a serious look at it and see if it's necessary. If not, then just dark brown it is. It already had a small amount of wax, so Okay, this is just for coloring purposes because the neutral wax that I use with the brush, it was a little bit more indiscriminate, if you may, where I was trying to aim for the welt area only, but some of the edge of the sole also got some wax. I could tell because when I was brushing it, it did collect a small amount of shine. Yes, I don't think I'm gonna need to use the black. I think this is good enough. Yes. Oh yes. These small details in here are what make the difference between a good shine and a great shine. Evidently, they're gonna be only noticeable to the owner who's gonna have the shoe in his face when he's trying them on or when he's checking out the Shoeshine. People from a distance, they won't be able to notice it too much. I'm not saying that it couldn't. If they get close enough, they might. Then I add a little bit of color here to this welt. I'm liking how it's looking. I think now it looks a lot better. Yep. Now note that I'm using the mirror gloss wax. That is because I really want for these areas to shine properly. If not, I could just go with the regular Saphir line. But I really want to make sure that when I buff it, I can get a nice shine. Okay. So this is that for the shine itself. So let's buff it. You can see the difference. Not for long. I'm going to take care of this one now. And I really think it's nice shine. It's coming along really nice. Most likely it's gonna be one of the shorter videos for a full shine. I'm not gonna add a mirror shine to this because the objective of the mirror shine is to create an even surface so that the light reflects evenly, and that's why you get a mirror effect. So in order for me to saturate all of this, it's gonna use way too much. And I don't think it does justice to the properties of the skin, the mirror shine, because it draws your attention to those areas where the mirror shine is. And I think the overall texture and the characteristics of the skin here is interesting enough. So I don't think I'm gonna add a mirror shine to this. What I will do though is to treat the soles. Sorry about that. They are leather soles, and they haven't, I don't know when was the last time they got treated, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna add some Neatsfoot oil to my sponge here. Oh, I think I might have gone too aggressively with it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and moisturize these soles. If this isn't a necessary step, I would suggest that you do so every now and then, especially if you're talking about leather soles. It is leather, and yes, it's really compact. That's why you can walk on it, but still it needs to be relatively healthy. If not, it's gonna crack, and if it cracks, then water can permeate through it rather easily. So I would suggest that you treat them every now and then. There are specialized products for this, but I have found out that Neatsfoot oil works just fine. Again, what we're trying to do here is just to keep this leather healthy so that it prevents the water, if you ever walk on some water, to penetrate the sole, and also to keep its longevity. These are not my shoes, by the way. These are a pair of 11.5 E, which is 2 sizes bigger than my foot. Okay. I think that's enough for that. So now we will let this do its thing, dry as much as it can. And find the laces. And if you ever find yourself in a predicament where you want to keep everything as original as possible, you can see these laces are not in a bad shape at all. But they're not mine again. I don't know if the owner has ever changed the shoelaces, so I'm gonna assume maybe he did not. So these could be vintage laces, so I'm gonna add small amounts of wax to keep its original properties. You can even go the extra mile and with a heat gun or a hair dryer, add the wax, have it pass with it. That's gonna melt the wax and ensure that it penetrates the lace itself. But In this case, these laces, they look in good condition, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna add some wax to make it also uniform in terms of shine with the rest of the shoe. So again, you grab the wax that you're using and you just go through the lace. It's also going to protect the lace, don't get me wrong. It's not only for the sake of appearances, but it's also going to protect the lace, because whatever the upper encounters, dust, water, etc., the laces will also be exposed to that. That's why you find in the market waxed laces. It's also aesthetically pleasing, but there's also some practicality to it. Okay. I'll lace the shoes again. How you lace your shoes also is a matter of personal preference. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just how you like it. Make sure they're even. Over and under. Over and under. Okay, now one last buff to include the laces. Sorry about that. Clean these for the final presentation. And just like that, we went from A to B. These pairs look really nice. It's been properly conditioned, cleaned, and waxed, so they should be ready to go. I hope that you like the video. Hope it creates value. If you haven't done so this far, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you the next time. Have a good day.